Yeah, I could definitely say I've never played in a game like that. We saw the weather report going in, and it's hard to prepare. It's hard to practice for something like that. But at the end of the day, we got it done, and we're happy to leave here with a victory.
What specifically was the wind doing to passes when they were in the air? How would you describe it?
It depends what side of the field you were on. If you were going against the wind, they would just, stop, die midair, especially on special teams like the punt game and all that type of stuff. If you were with the wind, it kind of just carry. You wouldn't really know where it was landing. So it was kind of hard to gauge. Definitely big for eye control for us receivers, but it was a good learning experience as well.
There were a couple of, I don't even know if I should call them droughts because of the conditions, but how hard is it sometimes to concentrate at the catch point when it's like this out there? Do you think that impacted you guys?
Yeah, I feel like us as receivers in zone 6, we feel really confident with our hands, and sometimes that confidence can lead to laziness with eye control. So, with a game like this with so much wind, you take that your eye off the ball for 1 second, even after you think you have it, it can just kind of get away from you. So that's another learning experience for us, something that we're going to keep moving forward.
CJ's run more than he's run in his college career today. What did you kind of think of that package and how he kind of executed it today?
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't say that's his forte, but CJ got it done today in more ways than one. That the third down was huge, the pull that he had, and then the long run that he had was huge. Just really big momentum shifts that came from a really special player on our team.
This was the forecast for today. Can you just take us through how you guys talked about it this week, how you tried to prepare for maybe what it would be like today?
Yeah, we knew it was going to be windy, and we knew the passing game, it would be difficult at times. So when you're going against a team who knows you're not going to pass the ball, they kind of stack the box and prevent us from running it because they know that's all we can do. So just trying to equate physicality and rock off the ball is something that we were emphasizing all throughout the week, and in the end we got it done.
What you thought it might be in preparation compared to what it actually was with the wind?
I thought it would be a little rainier.
Okay.
I thought there would be more of a storm, maybe a delay or something like that, but I did not think it would be as windy. I thought they were just kind of hyping it up when they said 40-mile-per-hour gusts, but pre-game when you're catching those punts and kickoff returns in the air, it looked like it's going over your head and lands 20 yards short of you. So again, I've never played in conditions like that, but we got the win, so that's all that matters.
How do you grade CJ as a runner, especially on that long run?
Yeah, we see it in practice sometimes. CJ got a little bit of wheels. You guys saw it on that long run he had, but being able to run is something that he doesn't do too much because of the execution of our offensive line. He has time a lot of the time, so he doesn't really have to scramble too much, and he can get it downfield to the guys like Marv and Julian and all our tight ends and all that type of stuff.
And what'd you make of mine today? Obviously, Trey not being here, knowing he's going to carry a lot of the load and the day he had.
Yeah, mine's a super tough runner. I think he's one of the toughest runners in the nation. Even on that very last drive, when they were trying to get a stop so they can maybe put something together, he was just, you'd think he would have 0 yards and he would end up getting a 4-yard gain. So that's a really standard thing for mine to do, and he does it time after time. So we're just super blessed to have him on our side.
How do you feel when you get involved in the run game?
Yeah, I feel like that's a trait that I'm not a stranger to, being that I did that a lot in high school, whether that be Wildcat or jet sweeps and stuff like that. So kind of implementing that into my college career is something that, I'm excited about when, the play callers make those calls.
And that changes things for the defense, right? That if you guys are hitting them between the tackles, but then you're doing a little bit of side to side. Just how do you think that affects a defense when they're giving you the ball like that?
Yeah, being able to run on the perimeter, like we have done a couple times this game, is another big emphasis that we had this week, especially if they're going to stack the box. So blocking on the perimeter as wide receivers and also getting it out there on runs and jet sweeps and stuff like that was really big for our game plan.
For you guys to get that score at the end of the first half, I think the first 6 drives you guys had, you didn't score. What was that? Did you feel momentum? What did you feel like to finally get in the end zone?
Yeah, it was definitely a big momentum shift, and it was a huge play for us. Outstanding blocking by Marvin. If you watch the replay on that play, it was incredible. So we really needed that one big time. But even if we didn't get it, we weren't feeling pressured, or we weren't trying to press. We were just playing our game, and then we ended up coming out on top.
They checked your toe on the sideline on review. I think,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Were you worried at all, or did you
It was
know you
close.
stayed in?
I thought I was in, so
Okay.
I didn't think it was as close, but I mean, I stayed in, so that's all that
Stayed in.
matters.
You were good.
Was there frustration? I mean, you guys, obviously, offense has put up points week after week. When it's not working, even though there is these weather conditions, does it get frustrating on the sidelines having to punt and kind of play a different game than you're used to?
I mean, we even if it does get frustrating, we can't let it get to us. Our defense has been playing amazing football. They only put up 7 points this game, so I would say we can't get frustrated. Maybe you can have a little moment after that play, but after that's done, you have to let it pass. And that's something that we've been working on all season. And just staying on schedule is going to be a big emphasis. Watching this film, but you know, there's no time to be frustrated in a 4-quarter game.
What, you get involved in jet sweep and attacking the perimeter as opposed to attacking the perimeter with bubble screens. Like, what do you see as the difference between those two? And I guess what leads you to decide to do one as opposed to the other as an offense? What do you like about, I guess, what each of those looks provide you?
I guess the difference just really depends on you know, who we're playing that day, and if they're trying to stack the box or if they don't have as physical guys on the perimeter as we do. So the phase is a little different with those two phases. You know, jet sweeps, you kind of got to circle the defense as much as you can. And bubbles, you're kind of already out there, so you kind of just got to gas it upfield. But you know, I like both plays. I love both play calls, and at the end of the day, I just feel comfortable with the ball in my hands.
How much, like, just mixing up that little bit, whether it's you doing that stuff or CJ pulling it once, how much do you think that helps the overall rushing operation when there's just more things to worry about?
Yeah, when there's a second of hesitation from, you know, the jet sweeps or the motions or whatever it is, for the defense to kind of stand up and realize what's going on, our offensive line is rocking off the ball, hitting them in the mouth. So it definitely helps us when it comes to running the ball down in between the tackles.
So when there's a pass play, you know you might get the ball,
Right.
depending what the defense is doing. When it's a run play and you know it's coming, like, how do you feel when you're lined up there and you know, okay, I'm getting the ball? Just, like, what's that moment like for you?
Well, shoot, I try to treat every play like I'm getting the ball. Obviously, not on run plays when it's to the running back,
Yeah.
but you know, pass plays and jet sweeps that are coming to me. So if you treat every play like you're getting the ball, you're going to run a good route, you're going to execute at a high level that you need to. So that's kind of the mentality I go into with every play.
Why do you think you're good at that? You said you did it in high school, right? That they worked you, and is it just, do you have a sense for it? Do you read the blocks well? Are you just fast? Are you physical? Why do you think you're a good part of the run game?
I didn't really play receiver until, you know, my freshman year of high school, really. I did a little bit in 8th grade, but running the ball out of the backfield is something that I grew up doing. I played running back pretty much my whole life. And I just feel like I can be a physical runner, but I can also put my foot in the ground and make a cut. So when you combine those two, I feel like it's a good combination.
When the team's a little short at running back, you say, like, hey, all right, stick me back there.
I try to, you know, embrace any role that they put me into, and just help my team get a win, whatever that looks like. If it's blocking on the perimeter, catching passes, or running it out the backfield.
It's like your whole life built to this moment, man. It's like what are we gonna do? Oh, we have a receiver who can run the ball in the wind,
Right.
And you were the guy today.
Right. Yeah. So just grateful for the coaching staff and the play calling. Honestly, they put me in those positions, and I get great blocks by my teammates.
Marvin did make a good block on
He
that
did,
play.
he
That was a
did.
good play.
You never played anything like this out in Seattle?
Like
I'm
weather-wise?
I'm sure rain, but like wind like this?
Nah. Growing up in middle school, the most extreme conditions I played in, it was like FBU, which is like a select team. And we were playing in Utah, and it was like snowing really heavy. But I've never played in wind like this. That was crazy.
Okay. And you knew it pregame when you're throwing the ball
Yeah.
in pregame, you could get a sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and was the ball curving in the air, or was it the way the wind was? It would get on you quicker than expected, or it would die in the air, depending if you were with the wind or against the wind.
All of the above.
All of the above.
All of the above, honestly. The ball was doing some weird things. But once again, that just comes back to the eye control and eye discipline.
Yeah.
So we're definitely going to be working on that this week.
Okay. Can you just tell Heartline, listen, man, it was windy and it's cool, or is he?
Nah, I mean, we're chasing perfection in zone 6, so we gotta keep our standards high.
That one when CJ stepped up and threw it to you, and it was hit off your hands a little
Yeah.
bit. Did the guy get his hand on it a little bit?
Honestly, that play was kind of a blur. I think he might have touched it, but
Yeah.
you know, that's something I got to come down with. You know, luckily it didn't bite us today, but it might in the future. So, gonna be looking to not do anything like that anytime soon.
It looked like he tipped it a little bit. So okay. Thank you, man.
Beck, sorry to ask you about this one. What was it to play in these conditions?
Yeah, I've never played in anything like that. The wind was swirling, the ball was going all ways imaginable. So, when it came down to it, we knew we had to run the ball. It didn't start off as pretty. I got you. But we ended up getting the win, and we're leaving here 9-0.
When CJ gave you guys that extra element as a rusher, as he did during the second, what kind of lift do you think that can give the rest of this offense?
That's huge, and that just goes back to CJ being a real leader and knowing what he needs to do in certain situations. He doesn't want to run the ball. He wants to, sling it downfield and stuff like that. But when the weather isn't permitting that, CJ is able to run and gain us a lot of yards. So just being able to do that is just a testament to his leadership and knowing what his role is.
I know you guys probably plan on coming in, maybe having a little easier time with it today, and the weather didn't allow that. Is this still another thing you file away? Is one, and it's a new chance to prove a different kind of toughness? Is that, or are you guys frustrated with the way?
No, I wouldn't say we came in with any expectation to beat the brakes off Northwestern. We go in and we respect our opponent week after week. We feel like we're a great team and we can run anybody out of the building, but it comes down to execution. But we knew here in Chicago it wouldn't be an easy win by any means, especially when we've seen the weather report. So, just coming out here, leaving with a win is something we're very happy about.
Emeka, just to have that chance to run the ball, what was that like? A different way to kind of get involved, and then to have the touchdown that way too in the first half?
Yeah, it was exhilarating, I would say. You don't get the ball too much as a receiver out of the backfield, so just building that toolkit, so it's maybe something we can build off later on in the season is really big for us. I was really happy to score that touchdown. Amazing blocks by our lineman and Marvin on that play. So I'm just really grateful.
Do you like running the ball better now, or are you still good with catching?
No, I'm good with catching it. But I'm good to do whatever my team needs me to do.
When did you realize the win was going to be the factor? Was it pre-game? Was there a moment where it was like, this just is not going to work?
I would say our coaches informed us about the win like in Wednesday meetings. So we kind of seen the weather report and knew that it was going to be storming, windy, whatever it was doing. So we kind of knew that coming in, and it exceeded my expectations a little bit. I don't know if it exceeded anybody else's, but the win was definitely a big factor for that.
Did you guys have to change and adapt in terms of the game plan? Like you obviously knew coming in what the weather was supposed to be like, but amid the game itself, like did the play calling kind of change from what you guys expected to have to do?
There was definitely changes that were made, but that comes with any game on Saturday because your opponent throws stuff at you that you haven't worked the entire week. So just changing the things we need to be changing, just executing in ways that we needed to.
Okay, how much do you see of that from CJ in practice, the ability to run, pull in those zone reads?
Yeah, he doesn't do it too often in practice, just like you see on Saturdays. He doesn't do it too often, but when it's needed of him, he'll be able to do it.
Have you ever played a game like this?
Never. No, I haven't. So it was definitely a new experience for me, learning experience for all of us.
So what's the frustration as a receiver where it's very obvious you can't throw the ball?
Yeah, I mean, there's a little frustration to it, but you got to keep a level head and just, we're walking out of here 9-0, so we're really grateful for that. We're going to move on to next week, watch the film, and improve on the things we need to improve on.
So is there anything to the conversation other than like, I don't know, the wind took the ball?
There's a little more. It comes with eye control. Even if the wind's swirling like that, there's no excuse to drop the ball. So we feel like we got to come down with everything that comes our way.
I don't know if the one. Did the DB get it a little bit?
I'm not sure. I think he might have touched it, but I still need to come down with that 10 times out of 10. So something we're going to be working on.
How much differently would this game have played out if it wasn't in these weather conditions, do you think?
I can't really be able to say that. I feel like we have a very dangerous passing attack, but Mine Williams is going to get it done every time, and our line was rocking off the ball today, so we're happy to see that. It adds a new facet to our game. Yeah, we came in with a game plan knowing that throwing was going to be tough. So, running between the tackles is something we had to take pride in this week. And we certainly did that. And CJ, pulled the ball and had big runs when he needed to. So, our running game definitely stepped up, and so did mine.
How much different was the game plan today than the one that was installed on Tuesday?
We still had all our same plays in. For the most part, we added some new packages and some new running plays that we needed to. So it wasn't too different, just execution-wise. I feel like we're going to get on the film and learn what we need to do better.
Last question.
Right. Some of the shots. Appreciate you guys.